Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Fuller, the managing partner at FWA Consulting, and I'm really excited today because we have with us a special guest. He is a Marine Corps veteran. He's been a corporal, a team leader, a squad leader. He's had combat operations in Afghanistan. He's trained Marines, Afghan national soldiers, and police. He's conducted security and trainings as a private contractor. He currently trains Navy personnel as a combat tactics and weapons instructor with a main focus on team and squad leaders. So without further ado, here we go with Mr. Christopher Reyes. How you doing today, man?
Hey, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. I'm doing well. Hey, everybody. Glad everybody's here.
Well, I'm glad to have you for sure because you being on with us today is going to just kind of just offer a different perspective in regards to leadership. And that's what we're going to kind of be talking about today, but it's going to have a little tweak with it because we're going to offer a different perspective, right? So most leaders, they are, they're kind of in a bubble, right? So if you're in a particular
Yep.
industry, you just might have an inner circle of people that you speak to or you talk to on a regular basis or like-minded people that you have conversations with. So I think that it's important for people to get outside of their comfort zone and outside of their bubble and also take in a different perspective as well. So thank you so much for being here today. But I mean, I guess I really just want to kind of jump into it. Like we were talking, if you want to call it off air, about a particular story that you had as an experience. So could you just go ahead and share that with us?
Yeah. Like you're saying, with leaders, usually when it comes down to it, like anybody in a hierarchy, right? Leaders will always talk to leaders, and that's their bubble that they associate with. So it's not like getting to know their people, right? Their teams or their squads. For instance, when I was in Afghanistan, all right, my squad that I had, there was only 8 of us total, and I knew all those guys. I trained with all those guys. I got to know them personally, and we spent some time together. One day we got into a firefight, and we had the enemy firing at us. And from my experience of being in country, I didn't want to put them on their bellies, all right. And I had somebody that was higher ranking than I, and was tagging along on the route, and told us, hey, they need to get down into the prone, they need to get down on their bellies. And in that case, I didn't want to do that, because if we would have done that, my machine gunner wouldn't have been able to see the target that we were shooting at. And well, life or death situation, I need to see what I'm shooting at,
That's pretty important. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, and this was coming from somebody, like I said, was higher ranking. They did a little more time in school, and they were able to get, something on their collar that was heavier than mine. But it just, that experience was lacking. And at that time, I would have loved for him to really take into consideration of what I was trying to do with my squad in regards to the firefight. Having him listen to me, although I wasn't under him.
So, I mean, in that particular instance, it seemed like it was a life or death situation. And if you would have listened to his
Yeah.
suggestions or directive or order or whatever it was, then you may not be here today to tell the story. So,
Yeah, completely. It could have went south, very, very quickly.
yeah. So, was this guy like, was he like fresh out of school? Did he have any experience or what was going
Yeah, he came straight to our unit. He didn't deploy with us before. He was new. He was there. He didn't really know all of us uh, for who we were and the experiences that we've had. Like I said, he was in school before that, and once he went through his schooling and he got, his degree and whatnot, he also went through another transition of schooling for the actual Marine Corps itself. And a lot of things that we all get taught are by the book, and where it gets to be better as a leader is by the experience that what you have. And he just didn't have that.
Right. I mean, it really just sounds like that he was, lacking a little bit of experience, but he had all the education and the
Yeah.
title and or
Yep.
the rank or whatever. So, I mean, I totally get that. But in that particular instance, I don't think he really had any ego in his title or anything. Maybe he was just making some fear-based decisions. But you know, from this end, just kind of listening to the story, it's like you can't throw a book at a bullet, you know.
No, you can't throw a book at a bullet, and fear-based decisions is is really what is toxic inside of any type of organization, especially inside of being in a squad or you know platoon or your fire team or whatever the case is you know we all have fears, but to be able to have to transmute that fear into something where you can making the right decisions, you know, and that comes with confidence. That comes with building confidence inside of your team and inside of your personnel.
For sure, for sure. So just another question, maybe you can speak on as far as like, you know, some of your past experiences. Like, how would you relate like a healthy organization versus an unhealthy organization? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Unhealthy and healthy organizations, right? I again relate that to working with my squads in different squads. All right, in a platoon, there's at least 4 squads, and you see the difference in each squad, including your own, and how they're treated. And in unhealthy organizations, you could get poisoned from the inside by treating your personnel badly, training them too hard, working them to the bone, keeping them after hours, basically being a leader in which is I'm in it for me and how can I make my footprint on the ground while sacrificing everybody else's, you know, health, personal life and things of that nature. And they just, you see those squads, they weren't successful. Not to say that they weren't productive, they just weren't as successful and productive.
You know, and some of the stuff that you're saying, it kind of relates to some of the experiences that I've had. I've been in the corporate world, also in the educational landscape. So you'll have, you know, VPs and managers in the corporate world that are basically super efficient, like getting the like amazing results, like as far as metrics are concerned and numbers and stuff like that. But behind the scenes, they are working the people that are actually doing the work to death.
Yeah.
And they have zero sympathy and they're moving forward and just trying to get results, which
Yeah.
you know it actually has like a cause and effect to where sometimes they have poor attendance rates. You know, the morale is very low, and then the turnover rate essentially in the end is kind of the same, and it's the
Yeah.
same in the educational world as well. Is
And I think
yeah.
I think that that boils down to you know, like any place, right? It's just human beings interacting with each other, right? So you know, corporate education, even in the Marine Corps with squads, you have people like you said. Once you lose that morale, once you lose that personal basis with your leader, with somebody on one-on-one, that the production of work and what they want to do where they're at is just completely goes away, you know. And you see people just start to give up on their leadership, and they give up on their companies, they give up on their squads, they give up for the schools, and it just completely takes the wind out of them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for those that are watching the video, this is just kind of a short snippet and a training that we're going to do in the near future for sure. And it's called The Power of Positivity in Leadership. So guys, stay tuned for that. On the website, either over here or over here, there will be a flyer with a link that you can click to register. And we look to hopefully see you guys again soon. And thanks for watching.
All right.